In Minecraft, villager trading is simultaneously one of the most complex and rewarding things you can do. The purpose of trading with the game's non-playable characters is mostly to bypass the randomization of enchanting. However, you can also gain reliable access to special items that you cannot craft. This video necessitates that you already have access to villagers and know how to keep them safe, as well as move them, multiply them, and assign jobs as needed. If you don't know how to do any of these things, check this separate video that goes into detail on all of those points. Anyways, what we're going to cover here are the villager jobs that are most desirable to get, the finer details of those jobs, and the complexity of getting a particular trade from them. So, with your village or trading hub ready to grow, let's get started. Villager jobs are best categorized as Librarian and everything else. The reason for this is librarians are the primary profession that you need several of because of what they sell: enchantments for your equipment. Meanwhile, all of the other jobs, with limited exception, you mostly just sell things to so you can have the emeralds to buy enchantments from the librarians. This is complicated by how expensive many of the enchantments can be, and further compounded by the large degree of randomization used to generate what they sell. In addition to this, villagers can lose their jobs, and thus their trades, if you don't actually trade with them soon enough. For all of these reasons, it's advisable you build out your trading hub with the professions you sell to first and build up material farms around them. This way, you'll always have the emeralds to buy what you want off the librarians when you finally begin spinning the roulette wheel, which is trying to get good trades from them. On that note, the librarian is simultaneously the most valued and complex profession in Minecraft. As already stated, they sell enchantments, but the depth of just how many and the difficulty of getting any specific one is potentially astronomical. Librarian is the main profession to have multiple villagers performing, because at level 1 they can offer almost every single enchantment found in Minecraft. This means you can manually acquire whatever enchantment you want and apply it to the desired equipment at an anvil. This is easier said than done though, as all levels of every enchantment are included in the random draw, making the list roughly 110 long. An example of this would be the Efficiency enchantment, which goes up to level 5. Obviously, the 5th level is the most powerful, and likewise the most desired, but all 5 levels have an equal chance to be sold by a librarian. Because this is how it works with all enchantments in the game, it means that there's less than a 1% chance of you drawing any specific enchantment. In total, if you only focus on the most powerful version of each different beneficial enchantment, there are roughly 35 worth acquiring. If you take a compendium approach, all you need to do is cycle librarian trades until you see one of the enchantments from the list of top 35. Once you get one, trade with the villager to lock in their job, then move on to a new villager, and repeat. It's also during this process that you'll sometimes get a repeat enchantment at a better price. Since villagers cannot be stripped of their jobs after you trade with them, this is naturally where villager disposal comes in, which isn't something to advocate for, but a game is a game and business is business. To dispose of a villager, the safest option is by drowning. Simply get them into a 2-block deep hole, put a roof over the top so they can't get out, and place water in the uppermost space. Using this method is qualified as an accident and leaves your hands clean. Besides, we both know you'll obviously never do this because you're not a filthy, disgusting, inhumane murdering. Building a trade hub or library this way is the most efficient tactic, but there's nothing saying you have to use this method. What matters is you now, hopefully, understand just how to slowly work your way through getting the best enchantments in the game. That being said, let's now take a step back and cover the jobs you should really set up first. After all, you can't lock in a librarian's inventory without first trading with them, which you need emeralds to do. So let's look at the jobs you mostly sell things to get those emeralds. Keeping in mind, we're not covering all the professions, just the most lucrative ones. The first job to start with is the farmer. Farmers are the most lucrative traders by far because everything that they buy is something you can literally farm. Their level 1 or novice trades are randomized between wheat, potatoes, carrots, and beetroots, with beetroots getting the best return. However, the real cash is in the level 2 or apprentice trade of pumpkins. There's also the level 3 or journeyman trade for melons, but this trade will only pay out for you if you have a silk touch tool to gather the melons up whole, as they break into slices under normal circumstances. Next is the butcher, whose level 1 trades will either be chicken, pork, or rabbit, with rabbit being far and away the best trade. This is mildly complicated, however, because cats naturally hunt and kill rabbits, and cats naturally spawn in villages or wherever villagers are. Meanwhile, at level 3, butchers will start trading mutton and beef, and finally, at master level 5, they'll buy sweet berries, which are by far the easiest butcher trade to grow and collect. The profession that follows butcher rather well is Fletcher. These villagers may buy sticks at level 1, making their trades extremely accessible. But at level 4, they'll purchase feathers off of you, making it a great way to offload the other half of what chickens drop if you farm them. Another job that relies on livestock is the shepherd, whom at level 1 will buy either white, brown, gray, or black wool. As they ascend in level though, they will buy random assortments of dye, which can be fairly lucrative, especially if you get a trade for black, brown, or green dye, as all of those are made from passively farmable materials. Another profession for selling easily farmable materials is the Cartographer. The map master accepts paper from level 1, and although this is an expensive deal for you to make, sugarcane does grow passively. Librarians can also buy paper though, so the real reason to bother leveling up a cartographer is for the other things they'll sell, which includes maps to help you find rare dungeon-like structures. These include maps for ocean monuments at level 2, woodland manors at level 3, and a globe banner pattern at level 5. Another profession that sells far more materials than buys is the Cleric. First off, these villagers will buy rotten flesh, which is pretty useful since rotten flesh is an almost completely useless item. At level 3 though, they'll purchase absolutely minuscule quantities of rabbit's feet, making it one of the most lucrative trades in the game, further enhancing the value of figuring out how to safely farm rabbits in a village laden with cats. They'll also buy netherwort at level 5. As nice as these buying options are though, clerics are better for the otherwise finite resources they'll sell to you. These trades start with redstone dust at level 1, lapis lazuli at level 2, glowstone at level 3, and bottle o enchanting, which is basically bottled experience, at level 5. Moving on, the second to last profession we'll cover in this guide is the Leatherworker, who may buy leather at level 1, but also upgrades to buying rabbit hides at level 3. That's not all though, as the Leatherworker also sells leather horse armor at level 4 and saddles at level 5, both of which you can't craft and are otherwise found at random from dungeon chests and fishing. Finally, closing up the list is the Mason, who at level 1 will purchase clay balls, which are renewable under the right circumstances. At level 2, they'll buy normal stone and potentially smaller quantities of granite, andesite, and diorite at level 3. Level 3 trades here have a large pool to draw from though, so don't be surprised if you don't get any of those. However, at level 5, they begin to sell both blocks and pillars of quartz, which, depending on your preference for building aesthetic, may be extremely valuable. Normally, that would be everything, but there's something worth a brief mention. There are various bugs involved with villagers and how Minecraft runs as a program. If you want the details, you'll need to watch the sister guide over mechanics, but it would be remiss not to mention that villagers can completely vanish. It's a major game flaw, and again, the details of why it happens and how to deal with it are covered in the mechanics guide. And that's the lion's share of job roles for villagers in Minecraft. Even though not everyone was covered here, you now know which professions to grab to both efficiently run a trade house and get the most valuable items out of it. If you're still looking for more information though, then click or tap this video to check out how to start making automated farms so you can maximize your efficiency when trading. If you enjoyed or found this guide helpful, it was made possible through viewer funding. If you want to help support the creation of more content like this, please consider contributing. You can find links in the description or visit strife.solutions to do so. Until next time though, I'm William Strife, and I'll see you later.